See how they run. It's a whodunit. If you've seen one, you've seen them all. It's very true. They kind of give away the whole movie in itself, which makes the movie kind of stupid. Let's talk about why. Hey guys, I'm Karl. Welcome to my movie film show. Feel free to subscribe down below if you would like to, but we're here today to talk about See How They Run. Every time I've been thinking about this movie this week, I keep calling it Now You See Me, which is not this movie. It's a movie that came out a long time ago. So this movie came out in the summer, I believe, but I completely missed it. Didn't have too much interest in it. I saw a few trailers. I even saw a couple of interviews with Saoirse Ronan, and it never really piqued my interest, but it came out on Disney Plus, so I gave it a go. With a cast that includes Adrien, Brody, Rockwell, and Saoirse Ronan. It's a pretty decent cast. The movie starts out and it seems like it's going to be a lot of fun. We get a voiceover from Adrien Brody telling us it's a whodunit, although he's speaking about the mousetrap.
Agatha Christie's The Mousetrap. In my opinion, second-rate murder mystery. Not that I've seen it, you understand? But it's a whodunit. You've seen one, you've seen them all.
Foreshadowing what we're about to see. And then Adrien Brody is playing the director of a movie adaptation of The Mousetrap. It's shown that he doesn't get on with the writer of the movie. He also doesn't get on with some of the cast. He doesn't get on with anybody. And he's kind of an asshole. And Adrien Brody at the beginning in his voiceover tells us,
you know the drill. An interminable prologue in which all the key players are introduced. You get a sense of the world they inhabit, and then the most unlikable character gets bumped off.
There's been a murder.
So Adrien Brody gets killed.
Oh, jeez. I guess I should have seen this coming. It's always the most unlikable character gets bumped off. It's a whodunit. You've seen one, you've seen them all.
Cool. It looks like this is going to be a great spoof, takes the piss out of whodunit movies. Although the problem was that somewhere along the line, the movie started taking itself a little bit too seriously. Saoirse Ronan comes along after Adrien Brody's been killed, and she's one of the main detectives, but Rockwell is her senior detective. She's playing Constable Stalker. And Saoirse Ronan, in my opinion, although I might be biased because I'm Irish, and she's an Irish actor, her performance is pretty damn good in this movie. Perhaps the standout performer of the entire piece. Rockwell and Saoirse Ronan tried to figure out who the killer is. They're going through the cast, they're going through the writer, other people who've helped fund the mousetrap as to see who the killer could possibly be, because it had to be somebody that was in the theater that night. So we get moments throughout the movie where the movie tries to be really clever, like they're talking to the writer, and the writer tells in a flashback how he had this interaction with the director who was killed, and in that they're arguing about how the movie should be made, the movie adaptation of The Mousetrap. At some point they mentioned flashbacks, and the writer says he hates flashbacks because they're lazy storytelling, and this is in a flashback within the movie. How clever. Definitely not cliched and overdone, done before. In this scene, Adrien Brody sits down with the writer and shows him with story cards how he would do the ending of The Mousetrap, how there would be gunshot and suspense, and he basically describes the entire ending of his version of The Mousetrap, how he would finish a whodunit movie. And the moment that happens, I said to myself, that's how this movie's going to end. And spoiler alert, that's how this movie ends. Adrien Brody foreshadowing the ending of the movie. And that's kind of the thing with this movie. It's a whodunit, like they claim. It's a very generic whodunit. Ultimately ends up being someone you would never suspect, or you would if you've ever seen a whodunit movie before. But at the same time, it tries to take the piss out of whodunit movies. And it tries to, you know, poke fun at itself, which is a fine line to thread. And I don't think this movie does it too successfully. The movie has its moments, it has its build-ups, it has misdirects, but ultimately, as I mentioned, if you've ever seen a whodunit before, you know where it's going. It's not going to be the person you think it's going to be. It's going to be someone left field. If you've ever seen Scooby-Doo before, you'll probably figure out who the killer was. But the movie's not really a serious whodunit, as I mentioned. It's kind of poking fun at it. It's a spoof, but it's a tame spoof. They never really go over the top with these type of things. I think that's where this movie's ultimately let down. The movie does have some entertainment factor. Some of the visuals are quite interesting in it. They really enjoy doing these type of side-by-side shots, where you see both shots at the same time. The problem is it doesn't fit on the screen great, and you get a lot of this black space above and below. And also, if you're doing it with the same person in one scene, that person over there has to remain quiet. They do other split screens throughout the movie. I always think above and below makes more sense here while you're getting a 50% of each shot. It looks better on screen because it fills more space. They also do the triple cut across, which looked good too. These are just minor technical things. The movie tried to be different. It tried to be unique cinematically. And certain points, certain shots looked very Wes Anderson-y. Is that an expression? Yeah, Wes Anderson E. You can see what they were going for, just perhaps didn't have that splash of colour, or that vibrancy of colour, I should say. The movie looked fine, and overall, it's got a certain enjoyment level. It's not one of the worst movies I've ever seen. It's certainly not one of the best movies I've seen. It's a very middle-of-the-road movie. It's an easy watch, but it's not a great watch. As I mentioned, the good performance from Saoirse Ronan, Sam Rockwell's pretty good in it. Everyone else is fine. So we'll get down to a rating out of 10 for See How They Run. And as you can see, I wasn't too impressed by the movie. It was okay, nothing spectacular, nothing awful. Very middle of the road, a 5 out of 10 movie. But it's out on Disney Plus or possibly Hulu in some countries. So check it out and let me know what you thought of it in the comment section below. Although if you don't want to watch that movie, you want to watch something better, I've got a load of videos right over here to check out. One this side, one that side. Check those out.